Right, Wednesday, the MGB GT is coming on nicely. This is take 2 of this video because I just hit my head on that of the bonnet there. The carburetor conversion is coming on really nicely. Obviously ignition system's been removed, Dizzy's out, ready for the electronic ignition system that we do with our amplifier. Holly's just refitting all of this back on here. He's done all the height checks for the carburetor and the air filter cleaner up to the bonnet, and there's room to spare there. He has also had to rebuild the rocker shafts on this engine. I think we've got photos of this, so there'll be a photo album as well. That will either go up before or after this video, but yeah, you guys will figure that out, because somebody had built these rockers up when they built the engine up and didn't realise that the rockers were handed, so they just kind of threw them together. So Holly's done that and obviously checked tappet preload as well. So the lower Offenhauser JWR intake manifold there to give us the extra inch of clearance. Just going to work out some piping as well to get the return pipe around the carburetor and over to the heater matrix. So yeah, that's coming on really nicely there. Obviously that's been jetted up for the 3.5. I am ducking a lot lower than I ducked last time to miss the bonnet catch, and yeah, it should be up and running shortly. So hopefully by Friday we'll have a video of that up and running. So this is the, actually let's duck out from under here for a second. We've got the White 90 here on the ramp. The engine is now being removed, ready for Holly to then take all of the ancillaries off. So Steve's just unbolting bits there. It's the half moon plate now coming off. So the starter motor has been removed. Exhaust manifold this side has actually been taken off to give some clearance. Obviously the exhaust manifold that side is unbolted from the cylinder head. You got much more to do, Steve, before it gets lifted out?
No, engine mounts, bell housing bolts, clutch slave cylinder.
And away we go.
Probably an earth cable or 2 at the top.
Okay. So this will be out soon, and then we'll be doing the photo library showing all of the ancillaries being cleaned up. They should be reasonably clean because I think we had them off last year when we did a camshaft in this engine before the 3.9 started ticking with the slip liner. So as you can see up there, yeah, the timing cover is already in a good condition, so there shouldn't be too much work there, and then they can be bolted onto that nice new 3.9 we've built up. So that's Wednesday here. Oh, there's a little bit of an update on the SD1 as well. Yep, so the SD1 sunroof panel here, Steve's been busy with his sewing skills. So we've got the 2 strips that actually clip this onto the panel there, which we're just stitching onto this fabric, which is now the correct colour match, or as best colour match as we can get for the headlining. So once that's completed, we can get the sunroof panel back into the car and the headlining back into the car, and then all of the pillar covers obviously can then go back on as well, and the grab handles, etc, etc. So that will be that big job ticked off. Steve didn't know he could do sewing, but he's doing a very good job of it along here, and he's just got a few inches left at the end there to do. Right, let's see. I think the next step of this video will probably be Thursday or Friday. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is the 3.9 litre engine out of the White 90, and we found the liner that has dropped a little bit. We're actually wondering if when the liners were installed in this, they actually decked it properly, because this originally was a 3.5 block that the customer had bored out to a 3.9. But normally when that's done, so that everything's at a nice consistent level with liners and the block face there, they deck the block, they skim it. But this engine number and compression ratio here looks incredibly original, whereas normally if you've decked it, this would be far shallower, or in fact missing and then re-stamped on. Good engineers actually stamp on. You'll have seen on our blocks, when a block's decked, it'll say minus 7 thou on it, which is how much it's been decked by or something. But this liner here, you can see, if I can get the camera to focus on it, and I can point with my nails that are not nails because I chew them, has actually dropped. There's a definite edge there all the way around, and actually this liner next to it as well isn't quite flush, so it would seem that this one is most likely the one that was slipping and causing the tap. Right, so the ancillaries have obviously been removed off this because it's just a short engine at the moment, and the pistons are now coming out. There's number 7 out there. So yeah, all the covers and things now being cleaned up, ready for the 3.9 that's in Holly's engine bay. So this week's video is actually going to be a bit shorter than most. We've actually got Florin on holiday this week and next, so there's not quite as much happening around the workshop. Steve's been busy on removing the White Defender engine, and Holly's obviously been doing the MG here, so that's now got its ignition system installed, distributor Magnecore plug leads and the Bosch coil. And when Steve is back in at work Monday, because he's off today, he will install the A&R amplifier, and then we will turn the key and start road testing the MG. The SD1, Steve was doing some stitching, and the results of that are here. So that's the fabric on the sunroof panel there, all in, which now means beginning of next week we can get the actual headlining panel in, and then the I think on the B pillars it's the light here that then goes up against the headlining, obviously the grab handles, sun visors and all of the things that screw through the headlining. So yeah, unfortunately I'm much shorter this week as well. I had Monday off, which meant I didn't video or photo anything Monday. So yeah, I hope next week normality will be resumed a little bit, other than still being one member down in the workshop due to holidays. But hopefully Florin's having a nice time in Romania. And then normality will be resumed the week after that. So let's see what next week brings. We've got a lot of cars booked in next week for work as well, so it's going to be a busy one.